Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Vendors Launchpad Network. We are live at the Hardware Show here today. It is the second day of the show, and we're getting some interviews. I walked around. I looked at some awesome products. This place is packed today. I made it through about half of the show, and, man, my legs are super tired. You cannot cover this whole show if you wanted to. I found a cool product. It is called Never Measure. I know it sounds weird because, you want to hang stuff. You want to put stuff on your walls. But this product is so cool that it's hard for me to explain. So I brought on Chuck Miller. He is the inventor of the product, I suppose. He's out there. I tried to get close to his booth earlier today. Can't get close to it. Everybody's talking to him, wants to know about it. So let's bring him on. I want to hear about not only the process and how he came up with the idea and how it get to this point, but I want to hear about the product because it looks simple, but man, it's not simply made, but it's simple to use, and that's what I love about this product. So let's bring him on and see what's happening. Hey, Chuck, what's going on, my friend?
Good morning. Everything's going great. You're at the show.
Good morning, man. Hey, listen, I'm glad that you spent some time. I know you got a couple guys at the booth, and I don't want to keep you too far from it, but man, have you been getting some good play? The product you have is awesome, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
So Never Measure was derived from the problem of trying to hang the dreaded, blind hole fasteners, the hangers that you can't see from the front of the picture. I was trying to hang a ceramic elephant head, and let's just say it didn't work out well for my wall. And so for those of you old enough to remember the song, we joke, I fought the wall and the wall won. Actually, my wall lost, but and still bears the scars, by the way. I keep them now just for for sentimental value. So we like to say, frustration driving innovation. And when I couldn't find a solution I really liked online and looking around at the hardware stores, I challenged my partner that I met at Motorola years ago to come up with a better solution. So after about, say, 8 or 9 iterations, we actually scrapped it for a little while because we couldn't find anything that we felt was cost-effective, was user-friendly, things like that. After a long drive, I kind of got to thinking about it, and I kind of got an idea in my head, went back to him, and his father had a bunch of bins of old B-52 parts that his father got from another guy, and so we pieced all these little things together to come up for the current concept that you see with Never Measure, or you have with Never Measure. That's how we initially came up with the first design, if you will, that we have now, we use now.
Wow, that's amazing. And isn't it funny, like when you have that time and your mind kind of floats away, that's when those ideas start coming, right?
It did, and then my mother lives like 7 hours away from me, so so that's a good long time on an interstate to really think about it, and it worked out great for me and for Never Measure.
Yeah, and this is a product and an idea that really people don't think about it until it haunts them. I mean, I fight with the walls all the time. My wife's always pissed off at me because there's an extra hole in the wall, or it's not level. That's the biggest thing. It drives me crazy when something's not level, and then all of a sudden I got to go back and I'm looking at it,
So when we do shows and couples come up, they always talk about how many fights this would have saved them having because it's not where they wanted, it's not level, and they're always arguing back and forth. So we joke about we've stopped fights since 2017, with the product.
That's wild. And it is something, again, that what I love is you don't think about it until it happens or until you have to do it. But you want to do it quick, and I save up like 4 or 5 pictures or something, or shelves or even stuff in my closet that I have to hang because really I'm shying away from it, or I want to do it all in one shot.
So we didn't reinvent the wheel. Everything that Never Measure does can be done the conventional way. It's been done for many, many years. But again, as you said, it's how can we save time and make things easier. We had a guy that bought one not too long ago, and he had this huge mirror, and he says he's just been putting it off, and his wife's been bugging the heck out of him for so long, and he actually came back and sent us a photo back, says, I never could have done it without your help. He goes, he goes, thank you so much. And we put that out on our social media and things like that. So it's that kind of feedback that we really love to see and hear about.
Yeah, when you're helping people not have a hassle or have fun and it not do the dreaded whatever, it's fun to hear about it.
Yeah, continually hear people come up to us saying, I've had these projects I've been wanting to do, but I've just been putting it off. And they said, okay, now I can see how how Never Measure can help them with that. Yeah. And it actually gets them moving on doing the collages and things like that are daunting to most people. Let's put it that way.
You never thought about you're bettering people's lives. There you go. It's not just a product here, folks.
Right.
Well, I know it does a lot of things. Is there like 1 or 2 things that you can go through real quick that are the main purposes? I know it does a lot because you were explaining it to me. I was like, wow, this thing is like so universal.
So the one feature that most people, when they see it solving that one problem, they say, I'll take it. They don't care what else it does.
Wow.
And it's that the blind hangers on the back of a picture. So you get those pictures and the hangers are on the back. You can't see them from the front. So I've heard, stories from toothpaste to one of the good ideas is tape. They get tape, but trying to get it level, it's sticking to the wall. So there's been a lot of cool ideas that people have used to solve it. But for us, with the way that Never Measure works with the auto centering feature and things like that, you're actually transferring that exact dimension to your wall. So there's not, it's really difficult to screw it up. You can never say never, it can be screwed up, but we try to make it as least possible as we can.
Yeah. No, that is the dreaded thing, because some of the ones that you can see, yeah, you can mark them, but some of these expensive hangers and some of these expensive frames, they try to make it so like level and so perfect that you can't hang the damn things.
Right. And that's just one of the features. We say, and we really truly believe that the use cases are only limited by your imagination, because if you go to our website, you can see there's lots of how we started posting how-to videos and things like that. So it's great for like panel pictures. It can make hanging those panel pictures so easy and so quick. Collages, there's always there's use cases around any style of collage that you want to do. There's a way to do it, and we encourage people, if you have something you're trying to do that you can't figure out, send us an email. It's most of the time we're able to come back the same day with an explanation of how to use it. And if we really like, or we really think it's a useful idea, we'll actually film a how-to and put it on our website.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any like videos or how-to things on the website.
So definitely. So one of the things we have now is a lot of how-tos. You can see some that are more conceptual. They're the better videos. The how-to videos are my partner and I, and you can see that they're home shot, but we hope to go through the explanations of how to do various activities, from towel racks to curtain rods, different types of collages, and even some compensation. So one of the big questions we always get asked is, well, I can see how Never Measure helps me hang the picture, but how do I know that the hangers are level on my frame?
Oh.
And so Never Measure has a numbering system that makes that very simple to check and very easy. And it allows you not only to check it, and if it's off, but it allows you to quickly cheat if you need to on your wall, exactly the amount that you need to make sure that the picture's level. And those are all showed in our compensation how-tos, things like that.
That's great. I see you have two of them. Is there differences, or they're basically just for different sizes?
Right. So things come in different sizes. So we developed it as a set. The small one goes out to 18. The large one goes out to 36 inches. So depending on the project that you have, they are complementary to one another. So for example, one of the things that Never Measure, if you've ever tried to do cabinet matting, so trying to get inside the cabinet, and you try to fold over your tape measure and try to see what that dimension is, Never Measure, you just set that inside. You can get the large one, you get your length of your cabinet. The small one, you get your width. You lock those down, you bring them out. You can set that on your counter, mark for your cutting of your matting and things like that, or similar like privacy film, things like that. Because of the way it works in space. You can do a number of those projects beyond hanging things that you may not normally think about when using this tool.
Wow. That's, and I say it, and I don't mean it a bad way. It's such a simple idea, but I could see it wasn't simple to make it so it worked perfectly, right? Yeah. I mean, you're talking about probably a couple iterations.
Well, that's what as I said, the 9, we were like 8 or 9 into it before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot, and then, but once we come up with the concept, and the funny thing is, we designed it around the blind hanger, but then as we got going along and coming up with, okay, how can we make it manageable, or how can we make it more than a one-shot pony, right? So all these things, and so we've done a lot, I think, that keeps it more cost-effective and not crazy, look like a deer antler, sticking out there. Yeah. But it does a lot of things. It's compact. It can be put away easily, things like that. So we really feel that we've been able to put in a lot of features in a very tight package, and very useful package.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. I was just walking by, and you were explaining it to one of the people that was at your booth, and I said, man, it just caught my eye because it seemed simple to use, but you were doing so many things.
That's our biggest dilemma is training people, right? Or trying to show people how to use it. And we joke when we do shows and things like that, it's the aha moment.
Yeah.
So when we're showing it to people and things like that, it's like you can see them, the name and the look of the product stops people.
Yeah.
Okay, explain this to me. Okay, how am I going to do it without measuring?
Yeah.
But it's that aha moment that when you're showing them how to use it, their eye, you can just see it in their eyes. It's like, I see how to use it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. you know, and so often, and that's a great part of when you're talking to someone and explaining to someone new, is that aha moment that you get from them.
Yeah. I think it's some of the reasons us inventors like you, we do this. I mean, we love seeing our products being used, not by our family and friends, but from people who bought the product. We didn't explain how to use it. They took it home, they used it, and it worked for them. It's so much fun to hear that.
Yeah, and it's not only from, you know, say the everyday or maybe the not so handy person. It's also like the engineering guys that come up, the professional guys that come up, and they can really appreciate it for the simplicity of it. I think a lot of them, think to themselves like, why didn't I think of that? Because they'll come up and they'll say, you know what, I get it. That's a great product, and they get the I don't want to say the engineering side of it, they kind of for the technical side of it, they kind of the simplicity. I think they really appreciate the simplicity for what it does.
Yeah, I mean, it looks rugged enough for like a handyman to use it also, like a gentleman that you hire to do some work in your house, and because it doesn't look like, it looks like it's made pretty rugged, like it can be used.
Well, and we get that from like the professionals that come up and say, hey, you know, yeah, I can use a tape measure. Well, yes, again, we're not replacing the tape measure, but as we tell the handyman or anything else, is time is your money. If I can save you time, you're saving yourself money. So that's where it comes down to. Look, we're not replacing the tape measure, but if we can help you do some things quicker and easier, you know, why not?
It comes down to, for me, I don't even care if it's quicker, but, you know, make it so it's done once. It's so important, because sometimes I try to do something quick and I'm doing it 4 times. You know, so it's nice that it can be quick. I think it's awesome that you have that feature, but to me, I'm just super glad the thing works.
Well, and that's the great thing, because so many people ask us like, well, you know, who's the buyers? Who are you trying to sell to, right? Of course, as the inventors, every home in America, we should have one, but realistically, yeah, it's those you do-it-yourselfers that are looking to try to do things not only creatively, because it can really help you creatively do some things that maybe it's a little daunting if you know, just trying to do it from scratch with tape and trying to get angles and things like that. But also, like I said, even into the professionals and things that are that more handy of those people, again, it can really help speed things up and maybe get back to that football game and that beer a little bit faster.
That's cool. Yeah, just not the headache too. I mean, geez. Tell me a little bit about where you are now. I mean, are you manufacturing? Are you looking to manufacture? Looking for licensing? You looking to go to retail? What's the next step?
So we are all 100% American product, cool. American-made product. The vials come from Wisconsin. The plastics and assembly is done in Illinois. We're currently online, of course, at nevermeasure.com. We're in Amazon. There's a specialty tool company called Berlin's House of Tools in Chicagoland that we're in, but also in Selective Ace Hardwares.
Oh, that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting. Now it's just a matter of just convincing the scores to buy it.
Yeah. And you know, I'm super impatient. And everyone tells you, oh, you have to be patient. I can't, but you want it to happen overnight. But time goes by quick, right?
It's amazing. I said we've been selling it now for just over a year, and trust me, it doesn't seem like that long. But sometimes it seems like an eternity, I should say.
Yes, you get those feelings both.
Yeah, you just like, okay, well, why is it should be moving faster? And then you hear stories from other people of the years that they've been trying to do it and things like that. So you try to tone your frustration back a little bit to saying, okay, well, it's just time. It's time, and just a matter of getting the word out. And thank you so much for allowing us to spend some time and get that word out.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, I want to grab everyone. Everyone here has got some awesome
some great
products.
ideas.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just really, I love walking around and the creativity of people and things that and how do I say the wherewithal to try it, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you talk to everybody, and so many people come up to us at a show and say, oh, I had this idea, or I had this idea. Well, yeah, most people have had the ideas. The ideas in some ways I say are the hard. They're not the hard part. The hard part is getting the product made and trying to get it out there.
Yeah.
And especially for like us that we're not in the industry. We met Motorola, so we come back from cell phone days of production, things like that. So we're not in the hardware industry or the home decorating industry. So for us, it's not like we got channels to just step right into. It's out there, beating down doors, doing the shows, talking to people, just trying to get our product name out there. And so it's been an interesting but actually quite fun experience so far.
Yeah, it's great that you can say that. It is an experience. Is there something we had most of our listeners are inventors or first-time inventors, entrepreneurs. Is there a portion that you didn't like in the process, or that you can maybe give a quick tip or hint?
Well,
Or
well,
all of
the,
it?
the biggest, well, I guess the thing is don't be too disappointed with no's, because you're going to get a lot of no's.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of, hey, would you like to hear about it? No. Hey, can I talk to you about it? No. Hey, okay, that's fine. Don't,
Yeah.
don't just move on and talk to the next person that wants to hear about it.
Yeah. You know what they say, when all those no's will equal out to a yes. You have to keep going.
And that's it. You can't be discouraged. And that's, I think, to anyone that's, and I'm sure most of the listeners would agree, is yes, you can't be discouraged. If you believe in it enough,
Yeah.
you've got to
gotta
move
move
forward,
forward.
and you got to do it. And trust me, I only have to work 10 years past death if Never Measured does not take off.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, here's the great part. And when I saw the product, we know it's going to go. It's one of those things you have to be the most impatient
Yes.
as possible.
Yes. And that's it. And we truly believe it. And we've put our money where our mouth's of. We're just self-funded, so we've not done any of the Kickstarters or anything like that. The only thing we joke about is if we had $1 for every person that asked us why we're not on Shark Tank, we wouldn't need Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's the number one question we get asked is, why are we not on Shark Tank?
Exactly.
But anyway,
So
that's
because that's the easiest thing.
Yeah,
A lot of people that aren't in the inventor space, they're interested in inventions, and they're not trying to be, wise guys or anything. That's, to them, Shark Tank is invention.
Well, it is, because everybody's had that idea.
Exactly.
Everybody's had that thought of, hey, what about this, or how to improve that?
Correct.
Right? And they've never went through it, and then now they can see the people that are actually doing it.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's kind of part of the fun. What I love about what you're doing is when your product's out there and you see people using it, it is so much fun to hear the stories.
Yeah. So the shows now, we did a couple of shows, was our second year, and the best thing we've heard were the people that were using it that said, hey, we loved it, and I'm not trying to brag, of course I will a little bit,
I mean,
but almost to the person that everyone that's used it actually had nothing but very good comments about it, and some people come up and said, I've used it all the time.
Nice.
And so we really feel that we do have a quality, but also a very useful product to use.
Yeah. No, that's great. I mean, it's great to hear. It's nice. And like you said, you're not really bragging. You made a product. You're doing it for the user, and it's nice to hear that. It really is.
We still, to this day, when we were just recently did some filming up for a commercial, and so when we were staging it up, we were of course using Never Measure, and to this day we still get excited about that. The ease of use, the things that we can do with this, we still get excited ourselves in actually using it to know how well it works.
Yeah, and that's how you know you have a good idea.
Yeah.
When you stay excited, even through the downturns and things that are happening, it's nice that you have that enthusiasm, that excitement. You know it's going to hit. It's just time.
And we use it, right? It's not something that we're just out there and we're doing some other method.
Exactly.
No, we truly use it, and we love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what's next? I mean, how's the show going for you?
Well, it's a little slow so far. Again, it's getting that right person to come up and talk to us. But no, we've made some good contacts and talked to a lot of people. And as with any of the shows, we'll see after, right?
That's the trick. Yeah. The follow up.
Yeah, everybody talks great, glowingly, and so whether or not we get the emails back or we get the conversation, so again, you got to stay optimistic and push forward.
Yeah, and I explained to some of our inventors, and you may never know that a buyer stopped by your booth. He's not going to go, oh my God, I love this product.
Yeah, I'm ready to cut you $1 million PO today.
Yeah, he's going to contact you afterwards. Or he's gonna say, so you just never know, because you have to treat each person like.
And you learn, especially doing shows, right? You made no preconception about anybody.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to hear about your product, you tell it to anybody. I don't care who it is. If you want to hear about it, I'll tell you about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. And have you learned, just for our inventors, if they're thinking about getting a booth, is there some specific things that they should come with?
Well, I mean, for us, we felt, because when we first initially were signing up, they were wanting to put us in the other section. And so,
because you were that far along.
Well, I guess they thought we were, but we were like, no, if we're going to be here, no, we're not that far along. So we wanted to be here in the inventor spotlight, simply because, think about it, right? So it doesn't matter who you are here at the show. Everybody wants to come and see what's new. And
they do.
So you're going to get the most visibility, I feel, right here at the Inventor Spotlight, because everybody wants to come and see.
And they do.
And there's a lot of really cool stuff here.
Yeah. I mean, there's constantly people in and out of here, and, it gets crowded.
Yes, yes.
You get a lot of people.
Yeah,
walk by.
you can hear the roar. You can always.
No, that's good. That's perfect. So,
Yep.
so yeah, because I get a lot of inventors or people email me, hey, should I go to the show? And it's a personal choice, but you have to be ready. You can't just go with a prototype.
Exactly. And there's you can talk to people, talk to other people if you can find from the show. But for the most part, what I would say is definitely from your booth. One of the things I'm seeing, and actually we're guilty of not doing it, is a more of an interactive approach. So one of the things that we're actually remiss on is having a little bit more interactive way that people can actually maybe use it. And see how to use it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then some of the other booths that are a little more interactive and get a feel for it.
Yeah, your product gives that ability.
Yes,
and like you said, people get that aha thing. You're like, I got it.
Right. Instead of telling people, let them use it. So if there's a way for you to be a little more interactive with the people you're talking with, that's something that would be very beneficial, I feel, here.
All right, very cool. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you stopping by. This is awesome.
Thank you.
Listen, everyone, Chuck from nevermeasure.com. Check out the website. Check them out. These guys are going to make it. I know this product's going to hit. And, get one when you can. I mean, so it's on Amazon if people want it.
It's on Amazon. It also makes a great gift for, somebody that's moving, if a housewarming, Father's Day. Trust me, for any 4th of July. No, every holiday there is. No, I'm joking.
No, you're exactly right. It's a great gift. And when you're getting one, obviously they're going to get one for themselves.
Yeah. Well, and then you get one for your son, for your daughter. It's great.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, Chuck, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
All you listeners out there, you got to check out the Hardware Show. Check it out. We're going to have some other great products on here. We're going to do some live shows down the road. And, thanks for listening. We'll check you next time on Inventors Launchpad Network. You all take care.